couple thousand satellites in space. Some of them are currently collecting data. Other ones were launched many years ago, no longer working. Some of the things you can do with those satellites that are still working is put more fuel in them. Right now, when a satellite runs out of fuel, you deorbit it into the ocean or boost it to a higher orbit. So if you add fuel to it like your car, you can keep it going longer. Things like Hubble, we've put new technology in it, new cameras, new detectors, new gyros inside Hubble, so it keeps the technology and the satellite going longer. And those are two things you can do. The satellites that are working. There's some satellites that get to orbit that don't quite work, may have a stuck thruster, may have a deployable, like an antenna that needs to fold up for launch. It didn't quite unfold when it needed to get to orbit, so you could go up and get that unstuck. And those are some things you can do to those satellites to keep them working. So one of the biggest challenges is no one's ever done this before. We've done it many times at NASA on the space shuttle. So we were able to fly up what I argue is the best robot in the world, which is the human, in a spacesuit to go out and work on satellites. We worked on Hubble and a couple other satellites in the shuttle. But no one's ever flown a robot to space to work on a satellite that wasn't designed to be serviced. We've flown robots on the space station. We've actually flown the Japanese and DARPA have flown robots on other satellites, but never to go up and work on something that wasn't really meant to be worked on. And so it's really that challenge to design the robot and the tools to go do things that weren't designed to be done. Sure, so the first step is the robot that's mounted to the front of a satellite has to find that satellite it's going to go work on. And so that's done almost fully autonomously on the servicer. And every once in a while it'll rate it to the ground and say, okay, I think I'm 2 kilometers away from the satellite, can I proceed? And the people on the ground will look at it and say, yeah, it looks good, go into the next step. Till it gets about a meter or so away and it says, okay, I'm where I need to be, can I go out and service a satellite? And from that point on, a button's hit on the ground that has the robot do it all autonomously or all by itself. So it uses onboard computers and onboard sensors and onboard data to reach out and grapple the back end of the satellite. And then after that point, once the satellite's grappled, all of the servicing tasks like cutting blankets, removing valves, putting fill in it are all done by humans on the ground using keyboards or joysticks or commands like that being sent up to the satellite. So right now we're planning in the 2020s. 2022 is the focus date right now for Restore to go up and demonstrate this. Hopefully it's like you have at the side of the road, right? You've got tons of tow trucks and other vehicles, servicing motorists. Hopefully at some point there's, multiple services up there because different satellites need different things. You might have one service that only puts fuel in a satellite. You might have another one that is the battery charging, robot servicing satellite. So it really depends on what services you need. But hopefully this opens a door for many of those services to be available in orbit.